Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Matt. I am the AmeriCanadian gamer, and welcome to Xonotic. It is time to kick off Xonotic Week properly, and so today I'm going to discuss and explain exactly what Xonotic is and why you need to play it. Now, I've already uploaded a couple videos of this game on my channel already with my daily live commentaries, and if you've seen those, you know exactly what to expect from this game. It is a free, open source, really fast-paced arena shooter that harkens back to the days of Unreal Tournament and Quake. In fact, it actually began life as a Quake 1 mod back in 2001, and there's a whole story behind that I don't think I'm going to get to in this video. I'll maybe save that for another day. So let's just kind of talk about this game and go through some of the menus and some other stuff about it. So really the first thing I want to do really quick that I really want to do is just show you the options menus. Everything that you could want is here. Everything that you've ever wanted in an arena shooter, if you've ever played the old Quake and UTs, all of the options that you had at your disposal, everything is here. Graphics options, everything is here. This is a very in-depth, very comprehensive options menu, and this game doesn't take a lot to run, and even if you have a really bad computer, you can still tune it to run on any machine. This game is not very graphically intensive. You can have a really bad store-bought computer, and you will still be able to play this game very, very easily, and that is a great thing. It opens up a wide player base to this game in general. It opens up a very wide player base. You have to forgive me, I'm a little tired right now. I've been up for pretty much 24 hours straight, and I realized I didn't have a Xonotic video for today, and so I'm going to get this Xonotic video out right now. So I'm kind of doing this right now, trying not to fall asleep. I have a very sugary drink to keep me awake, so let's hope that can actually do it. Now, one thing about arena shooters is that they have this really weird competitive nature to them, which is very understandable because arena shooters, dueling, and the team side of them is a very competitive scene. You have QuakeCon, you had the old Halo MLG, Halo 3 and back, they're arena shooters, and Halo Reach is an arena shooter. It has some loadout variations to it, but it is still an arena shooter at its core. And by arena shooter, I mean it's a shooter where you spawn in and all of the weapons and equipment are on the map. So like I said, Halo Reach is a little hybrid of loadout and arena, but Halo 3 and Halo 2 and Halo CE, they are pure arena shooters. So that's what I mean by that. So if you kind of miss those days in Halo, then you might want to come give this arena shooter a shot. You might like it. You never know. Now, as I was saying, there's that really competitive side, and that really deters a lot of people. And I'm going to say right now, arena shooters, for all the competitive nature, for all the hype surrounding the competitive dueling and team play, they are very casual games. Quake, Unreal Tournament, Xonotic, they're very casual in their nature, and that's something people seem to overlook, is that you don't need to be a super high-end player to get into them, to play them, to enjoy them, and to understand them. You can just hop in the game and just have fun. You don't have to be the leader. You don't have to win games to enjoy the game. This is a game that I have found that even when I am doing bad, even when I'm getting my butt kicked, when I'm not even getting a kill, I am still enjoying because the core gameplay engagement, the actual movement, the actual fighting, the guns, everything about it is satisfying. And that means that the experience overall is satisfying. I don't need to win in order to enjoy it, and that is something very good. But if you want to learn about the game and learn how to play it before hopping into the online scene, it does have a single player mode. Now this single player mode is very, very in-depth, and it teaches you how to move, it teaches you about the basics of the game, and it teaches you everything that you need to know before you hop in online. And I did this, and it really taught me how to move around much better, how to really movement. Movement is a very big thing in this game. That's something you're going to really learn, is about movement, 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 movement. This game allows you to move very, very quickly with a very high degree of control, and generally whoever can move the quickest while simultaneously keeping their accuracy at a very high level is going to be the one that will dominate the matches. But it's not just about being able to move the fastest and be the best shot. It's about finding that balance between your movement and your accuracy. And when you find that balance between the rate at which you can move and your accuracy, and you learn to control those, that's when you become the deadly player. Even if you're not the fastest player out there, as long as you're moving at the proper speed for your character, for your control, and you're able to still land your shots, you're going to be a deadly threat because you have full control over your character, as opposed to someone who tries to move as fast as possible all the time. They're going to be so distracted with their movement, unless they've completely mastered it and they're a professional player, they're not going to be able to do much about it. And if you go up against somebody that has the skill to be essentially on a professional level, you got to think there's really not much you're going to do about that anyways. So you really just gotta enjoy the game. I don't really know where I'm going with this now. So the single player, the training, the tutorial, something very good that you need to go into and try it out. And this is a really good place to start with this game if you don't want to hop into the online scene. Now, if you're already very familiar with arena shooters that focus around bunny hopping heavily, such as Quake, then you might be comfortable going and hopping in online. But I do want to show you something. These are the servers. Look how many of these are empty. Most of them are empty, and that is why I'm doing this Xonotic week, because this game does not have the player base that I think it deserves. This game does not have a very large player base, and I want to raise awareness of this game and show you guys that this game exists and maybe help increase that player base. You know, tell your friends about it if you enjoy this game. It is free. You lose nothing by trying it. It will run on pretty much any computer, and it's free. I don't know what else to say other than it's free. You lose literally nothing by trying it. So here's all the servers that actually have people in them. This is actually the best I've seen it in quite a while. Usually I don't see this many servers full. Usually not at all, but you can see for the pings, there's only one server that I actually get a good ping to that I would play on, and it only has one person in it. The others I wouldn't really play on. I don't really like to play in anything with higher than an 80 ping. That's just me personally, but that's really all there is right now. That's it. I mean, the European scene on this game is apparently much better than this one is, and I wish the North American scene would get more players and get more support. There's kind of an Australian scene for it. It's starting to see a little more exposure, but I really want to see this go up and go into more exposure. That's really what I'm trying to push. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm tired. I'm going to keep reiterating myself right now. So actually, let's just go ahead. I'm going to create a server, no bots, and I'm going to show you exactly what the game is about. I'm actually going to give myself all the weapons right now. Is there actually a weapon? All weapons. Let's see here. Options. Most weapons. Okay. There we go. Most weapons. We'll just start on After Slime. That's a pretty good open map. Be able to jump around really good on this. Okay, here's the game. Now, if you've seen it on my channel before, you've already seen me play, and you know how everything works with the movement and everything, and exactly how the game plays. But this is your standard kind of arena shooter. You have multiple weapons that will be on the map. Now, there won't be any weapons on the map now because I applied a mutator that gives me most of the weapons to begin with. You can see on the side there, I have pretty much all the weapons right now. And I'll just kind of show them off a little bit. I am going to do a full weapon walkthrough in a later video this week, where I won't go into really super in-depth about the weapons, but I'll do a brief overview of all of them and explain what they do. So here is the laser. This is, no, that I shouldn't start there. Here's what it is. You hold space, and it lets you jump around. Holding space, the bunny hopping is automatic, and you build momentum as you bunny hop. And it lets you build impressive amounts of speed to move around the map. And then you have this laser that allows you to do like laser jumps, and you can go around. It's essentially a rocket jump. It's the same principle as a rocket jump. It's just a laser. I fell into acid. Let me find some health so I don't kill myself laser jumping. And that's what allows you to gain extra momentum and move around very quickly and get to spots where you really wouldn't normally be able to. You can use the laser as a weapon. It's a weak weapon, but if you hit somebody right, it will knock them around very heavily. And it's really good for knocking people off maps if you're precise with it. And it's something you always have. Now, every weapon in this game does have a primary and secondary function, and because you switch to the laser a lot to do a bunch of your movements, the right click, the secondary function, switches you back to whatever weapon you had previously. So, I can do this, right click, back to my other weapon, boom. All done. All done. Okay, forgive me for doing a little cut there. I actually had to think about something to talk about because, like I said, I'm tired. So there are 4 different ammo types in this game. As opposed to something like Unreal Tournament or Quake, every weapon does not have its own ammo type. Weapons share different ammo types. You have the standard shotgun, which uses its very own ammo. It has shotgun shells. Then you have bullet-based weapons. The assault rifle, as well as the sniper rifle, are both bullet-based weaponry. And then you also have energy rounds and explosive rounds. And if you played Unreal Championship 2 on the consoles, then you will know exactly how that works. Energy ammo feeds energy weapons, and explosive ammo feeds explosive weapons. So, energy weapon, another energy weapon, and explosive weapons. So you have those 4 different ammo types, so you have to really take into consideration what weapons you're using, because you might think, oh, I have a mortar and I have a rocket launcher, but they both use explosive ammunition. So if you start spamming rockets and think, I'll just switch to the mortar, you may run out of ammunition, so you might want to switch to something else that uses energy ammunition instead. And also, if you run over top of, say, a rocket launcher on the ground, but you have a mortar, then you might think, well, I like using the mortar more, so I pick up the rocket, it gives me explosive ammunition, and now I can use my mortar. And it leads to that nice little bit of strategy in it, and the shared ammo, it's a nice little touch. It's not really as gimmicky as it is usually in shooters. I think it works actually pretty well in this game. I think it works out very well. And it's something that you really need to take into consideration when deciding what weapons you want to use and what you want to put at your disposal. Now, this is a power-up. This is the strength power-up. It is essentially the equivalent of quad damage for this game. It massively increases your damage output. You will kill very quickly with whatever weapon you're using. A rocket and the next, essentially the railgun, are pretty much one-shot kills when you have this. I don't know if it's double damage or quadruple damage. I actually still haven't looked into that. I've been meaning to. But it does massively increase your damage output, and you'll be glowing like this until it uses up its duration. You can see in the bottom there, it is just about done, and there it is done. Okay, now here I just want to discuss one last thing, and it's actually your character customization. Now, you have all these options available to you. Your name is actually a very nice one. Look at all of these options that you have. You can change the colors in your names. You can see my name right here, AmeriCanadian, is red, white, and blue. You can also add various symbols like an alien head, a smiley face, a cross. You can add different types of fonts. There's all sorts of little options that you have at your disposal to really customize your name and make it really stick out to you or to anybody else, and it's really, really nice. I like it compared to a lot of shooters where it's like, hey, put in your name, or and your clan tags maybe, and there you go. Or, in Steam when you have to put in color coding to make your name appear in colors, and it shows up really weird when you're not in that game with all the little codes to it. Yeah, that's kind of an issue in those. In this, it just does it for you. It lets you have that freedom built into the game. You can also change your player model. I prefer to have the Mega Erebus. There's a few here, but they will probably add more, I would think. I don't know, but there's plenty here. There's plenty here. I prefer this one, the Mega Erebus, and you can also change your primary and secondary colors. And it does not reflect into this model, not yet. I don't know if they're actually going to add that into the menu. It would be nice if they did. If anybody in the Xonotic team sees this video, add that. Add that so that we can see the colors in real time when we apply them. Now, these colors also apply to your weapons. So when you pick up a weapon, if you are pink, your weapon will be pink. That is what affects your weapon camo. Your armor colors become your weapon colors. And if you're in a team game like Capture the Flag, your team color will become your weapon color. So if you're on blue team, your weapons will be blue. If you're on red team, your weapons will be red, and green team. You get the idea. You get the idea. And you also have your crosshair options here. You can set it to no crosshair, a custom crosshair, so you can choose from any one of these magnificent options, a very nice wide array of options here to choose from. Or you can make it per weapon, which is what I prefer. It sets your crosshair to a different crosshair for every weapon. You can change the crosshair size, and you can change its alpha, essentially its transparency. So if you think it's a little too obstructive, you can reduce it a little bit, or if you can't see it, you can make it fully non-transparent so you can see the whole thing without seeing through it. And you can also change your crosshair color to whatever color you so desire. You can change it so that it's by weapon, or how I prefer it, by health, so that my crosshair when I'm at low health will be red, and I know that, oh hey, I'm at low health and I don't always have to keep glancing down at my actual health. That's something that I really like. And there's other crosshair settings that you can have here. Lots of in-depth settings. I really like a lot of the in-depth settings they have here, like the model settings. You can make it so that all the other players have the same player model and same colors as you. So that way, you can see everything as the same model. So if you have issues seeing some of the models, like some of the alien models or some of the female models, if you're having trouble seeing them, you can force them to your colors and to your model so that you can see them a bit better. It's something that competitive players like to do, set everything to the same model in the same colors, and it makes it a lot easier because you can make your character really bright green, force other players to your color, and it makes it easier to see them. Now, generally, competitive settings have that as kind of a default. Everybody's kind of the same color. They really stick out, and that really helps the observers more than it does the actual players. But that's something that I like that they have actually built right into it. Most arena shooters do have that, but it's nice that it's just like right there, easy to get to. You have your view settings, which is like your field of view. Right now, I have it set to 90. You can set it all the way up to 130 if you so desire. And your reticle, your zoom, you have all these view options right here, which is just really nice. You can switch to a third-person perspective if you wish, but I would not recommend it. I would not recommend it. I really wouldn't. I would stay in first person. You also have your weapon settings that tell you, oh look, you want to use center alignment for these or right alignment. I actually do kind of prefer central alignment. I would actually prefer that for all these weapons. I will switch that later on my own. I won't make you sit here and watch this. And also HUD settings, you can change the scaling, you can change the transparency, and other stuff about the HUD. Like I said, there's a lot of really good options. This game really gives a lot of control to the players of the games. And as opposed to a game like COD or even Halo that really lock you down into what you can do, it's really nice to have this really high degree of freedom with your options and available things that you can do, your options. I'm repeating myself. So that's kind of the last thing I wanted to go over, was all these different options that you have at your disposal. And that's Xonotic in a very, very small nutshell. That I cannot take a single video to go over everything because it will be a very long video if I discuss every single little thing about this game. So I'm going to spread it out over the week. I'm going to have more videos about this game that will show it off, and I think will get you really interested in it. And that's pretty much it. So go to Xonotic.org and download this game. Give it a shot. It's really, really, really fun. And it has bots. It's free. You're not going to lose anything by trying it. You're really not going to lose a single thing except maybe an hour of your time. But either way, go download this game and try it. And every day for the rest of this week, I will have a Xonotic video that you should be looking for. So, with that all said and done, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this entire video. I appreciate it. As always, I'm messing up my outro yet again, so I will just see you next time.